All right, in this video, I'm going to be comparing and showing you guys my top 5 max comfort sneakers for 2022 thus far. And we have some heaters, especially towards the end of the year here. It's been absolutely crazy. We've seen some really incredible footwear from New Balance, which is why 2 of them are in the top 5. We have Nikes as well as Hokas, and then also an older one, but still a goodie, and some stuff with a lot of future potential from Adidas. I wanted to let you guys know that this is my choices for max cushion, but not necessarily the most comfortable, quote unquote, because there's a lot of other sneakers that I really enjoy that just don't have as big of a stack of cushioning. As an example, a couple runner-ups that I would throw out there as very comfortable shoes, but not necessarily max cushion: the Nike React Infinity Run 3, the Hoka Clifton 8, the Brooks Glycerin 20, another amazing sneaker, the New Balance Rebel Fuel Cell V3, and the Adidas Ultra Boost. All of these are great, incredible sneakers, but they're not max cushion. So in this one, I just wanted to leave it to the big boys and show you guys the top 5. Before we get too deep in the video though, this video is sponsored by Bombas. So I got some of these socks in and I tried them out for the last couple weeks. One of the main reasons why I really like what they are offering here is there's no toe seam, which is the most annoying thing when you put on a sock and you have that little toe seam that's like messing around with your toes. You don't have that with these. Also, it features a stay up technology, which allows the socks to actually stay up around your ankles. And then these also feature a nice arch support on the bottom of your foot, but I also like the beehive sort of look to the socks as well. So for those that don't know, what is Bombas? Well, the name Bombas is derived from the Latin word for bumblebee. Bees work together to make their hive a better place, and they liked that, and they felt that it really fit into what they were trying to do, which is why their logo is a bee and their mantra is be better. They also offer 100% happiness guarantee, which is hilarious if you look at their website and read all the reasons why you want to get your money back. But the main reason why I think this company is awesome is because they actually donate a pair of socks for every pair bought. And if you did not know, socks are actually the number one thing that is most requested from homeless shelters. And the main reason why is you can donate used clothing, but you can't donate used socks for health and safety reasons. So Bombas donating new socks to homeless shelters and stuff across the US is just a really cool thing. So if you guys want to buy some for yourself or gift somebody for the holiday season coming up, check my link in the description, save yourself 20% off. And again, thank you Bombas for sponsoring this video. So first things first, I wanted to give you guys kind of a tech spec overview as well as the weight and the price of each of the items that I'm going to be showing you guys. First things first, the Adidas Adizero Prime X. This is $275 at retail, the most expensive of the 5 sneakers out here, but this one does weigh the least at 9.9 ounces. Pretty incredible for how insanely big this stack height is on this shoe. The stack height is so big on here, it's 50 mm, which is actually over the legal limit for a stack height that you can have on a race sneaker. The reason why I wanted to include this one on the countdown, however, though, even though it doesn't really fit the same form as the other 4 pairs, is for the future potential of what Adidas can do with this light strike technology. If Adidas created a shoe that was similar to any of the other max cushion sneakers out here with a wider base on the heel of the shoe, and a little bit more support on the shoe as well, it would be an absolute beast. So Adidas, please make one that's a little bit wider, fits the form of some of the other runners that you can see out here. This one features rods in the shoe that has a rocking sensation when you walk around. Definitely the most rocking sensation out of any of the shoes on the countdown as well. Moving on, the Nike Zoom X Invincible Run Flyknit 2. This is obviously a Flyknit upper, Zoom X on the midsole. It weighs in at about 10.1 ounces, and the retail is $180, although I've posted these on sale for $130 or so, which I will link all 5 of these in the description if you guys are interested in buying. 10.1 ounces though makes this the second lightest of the countdown. Coming in at 10.9 ounces, we have the New Balance Fuel Cell Super Comp Trainer, or SC Trainer. This thing's an absolute monster. Biggest stack of fuel cell that I've seen on a trainer or any pair of sneakers for that matter. Absolutely insane. It does have an energy arc in the middle, which is a very interesting design. I didn't think I would like it just by the looks of it, but after trying them on and wearing them a bunch, it's actually really welcome. You don't really notice it as much as, say, the Adidas shoe with that rocker motion in the shoe, but it's a really well-cushioned shoe that does have a nice little toe off as well. Lots of cushion in this guy as well, obviously, which is why it's in the max cushion category, and this one retails at $180. I actually just gave away a pair of these for free on Twitter, so if you don't follow me on Twitter, I post a lot of sneaker deals over there. Definitely follow me. It's always in the description of my videos. Next up, very close in weight, 11 ounces, we have the New Balance Fresh Foam X More V4. Now this is a big boy for sure. This is what max cushion is all about. It's pretty light for the max stack of foam on the outsole of this shoe. Fresh Foam X is really soft, nice recovery foam. The difference between these two, the Fuel Cell and the Fresh Foam, this is more of like a soft, like cushion, cloud-like landing. This has a nice soft cushion, but it has a responsive kickback. The Fresh Foam X doesn't have as much of a kickback, but it is a really nice soft recovery sort of feel. And I feel like I'm like a recovery day every day because of the way I run. I'm just heavy set, so it's a lot more difficult for me to run, which if you guys didn't know, I actually started running 3 weeks ago because of this sneaker right here. This shoe, since I got it in hand and on feet, it really inspired me to start running. So I've been running pretty much every day since then, or at least trying to run, mostly walking, but you know what I mean? I'm out there at least. Back to the more V4s though, this one retails at $150. They actually dropped the price on these. They were $165 last year. A really, really nice revamped model and one of the deserving spots in the top. Next up, one that I had to try out because it looked really cool. They changed it up a lot, and we have the Hoka Bondi 8. Now this is the heaviest of the 5 at 11.8 ounces, and it does cost right in the middle at about $165. I don't really know the proprietary foam in Hoka sneakers. They don't really tout it, but this one is supposed to be a little bit softer than the Hoka Bondi 7s. Honestly, I put them up next to the Cliftons, and it feels kind of like the same technology to me. And just throwing this out there as well, after my review of these sneakers, they had a little bit of a discomfort on this side, the lateral side, in the heel of the shoe for me, and I actually exchanged them and got a wider version, and I didn't have any issues when I was running around in these things, so that is a good positive thing for these. So let's get into some sizing on these 5 sneakers. For me, I went true to size in these 3 shoes: the Adidas Prime X, the Invincible Run, and the More V4. So if you have a fairly wide foot like myself, the regular version is actually what I prefer. The extra wide is actually just too wide for me. These two, however, I did need the wide versions on, and that is the FC Super Comp trainers here, and then also the Bondi 8s. Both of these I really needed that wide frame on, even though the Bondi toe box and stuff is so big, but the heel, again, that heel rubbage that I had on the regular pair seemed to be resolved on the wide version. So now I'm going to go ahead and rank these sneakers by the specific categories, and the first one that I wanted to talk about was breathability. The least breathable of the 5 is the Bondi 8s in my opinion. Engineered mesh is okay, it's not anything crazy. It's not breathable, but it's not the most breathable out of these 5. Next I go right up with the Invincible Run 2. Honestly, the Bondi 8s and the Invincible Run 2s are kind of neck and neck. This has an interesting fly knit upper, but if you try to breathe into the shoe, you don't get very much into there, so it's not as breathable as maybe it should be. Next up, we have the More V4s from New Balance, and this one is fairly breathable. Again, engineered mesh, and my test for breathability is very scientific. I put my hand inside the shoe, I breathe inside of the shoe, and if I can feel it, then it's definitely a little bit more breathable than if I can't. Second ranking out of the 5, we have the Fuel Cell Super Comp trainers, and these are very breathable actually. You could see there's 2 different layers. There's a wider gauge knit, and then they have a layer of really thin mesh. But these things are incredibly breathable. And then the most breathable out of all of them is actually the Adi Zero. Because of the upper being completely see-through on the Prime X on these shoes right here, I definitely like the Bombas Socks and be able to wear those and then have the visibility of the sock over the shoe. It gives you an opportunity to have some crazy looking socks, especially since they offer a variety of no-shows. And then the running socks are going to be perfect with this shoe and then any of the other ones. And they also have a ton of different patterns and colorways. Definitely worth looking at. Again, if you guys are interested, in the description of the video, save 20% off of Bombas. But between all of the fused layers, you can literally see through the shoe, and this material is extremely breathable, like literally just goes right through the shoe. Next up, I wanted to go over the ranking of the foam density of these 5 because some of them are very, very soft. Some of them are not. Starting off at the number 5 spot is the Hoka Bondi 8. Comparative to all of the other items out here, it's definitely the firmest. So if you don't want a very firm midsole, then this is not the one for you. If you do like the firm style midsole, this one is definitely the most firm. Moving on, we have the More V4 from New Balance. This is ranked number 4, but don't be fooled. It's really, really soft. I mean, it's Fresh Foam X. This stuff is soft. It's very squishy. It feels really good on feet, and it's very noticeable heel to toe on this shoe. As soon as you step into it, you know you have something under your foot. Max cushion for sure. It's a Fresh Foam More V4 for a reason, because there's a lot more of it. It's the most Fresh Foam they've ever put on a shoe. So the Fresh Foam density, in my opinion, is just a little bit softer than the next one, and that's the Adidas Prime X. Now the Prime X is a little bit firmer to the touch, but these two have crazy different sensations underfoot. This has a lot of bounce and spring back. The Fresh Foam X definitely feels more like a pillow, and this is the Light Strike Pro from Adidas. The stack height is huge. It's pretty soft in hand, but really you feel a crazy snapback in these things. At least I did when I was running around in them. Very, very impressive on foot. Next up, we have the Zoom X from Nike in the Invincible Run. This thing is crazy soft. I mean, it's a full-length Zoom X midsole. Zoom X is for sure Nike's softest and squishiest, most responsive cushioning that they use in all of the high-end runners that they have. This is the best one for casual, in my opinion, because of the wide body on here. This is an absolutely amazing technology that Nike's come up with, and very, very soft on feet. But the one that beats it out, in my opinion, is the fuel cell materials in the SC trainers right here. These things are absolutely crazy. It's so soft and squishy, but it's also extremely responsive, just like the previous two that I just mentioned. Very, very good on feet, and just an overall amazing sensation when you're walking around in these, running around in these, whatever you're going to be doing. All of them are very good, but this one, in my opinion, is actually softer than the Zoom X, which is crazy to even think about, because I thought this was the softest thing that you could probably get. This one feels softer to me, and maybe it's because I'm heavier set. For you guys that are like 100 pounds, you probably don't feel the same thing, but this is just my experience that I'm showing you guys. So now we have the soft and squishies out of the way, we have to talk about stability, because it does play a role in a max cushion sneaker. Number 5 spot, stability on the Adizero is just terrible. Like, it's super bad left to right. It's not something that you can really wear casually. You can roll an ankle in these because of that massive 50mm heel on here. It's definitely wobbly, which is why I hope they can make a wide body version with this material, because it would be absolutely epic. But for the time being, lightest, most breathable, but also the most wobbly on foot. The next one I would say is the SC trainers. I know it's the softest. Of course, it's kind of going in reverse order in a sense. I got the wide version, and the stability is really good, surprisingly, on this shoe. But based on what the other 3 pairs deliver, this one is just lower on the tier. However, it still is really good. Next up, we have the Invincible Run. Again, stability is actually really good on here. Considering how massive the stack of Zoom X is on this thing, it's absolutely huge, but it's also very wide and it's very squishy, as you can kind of walk around in the shoe. If you really try, you might be able to roll your ankle, but at the end of the day, it's very soft, squishy. The stability is actually really good. Number 2 spot for the stability would be the More V4. Surprising, again, because it's the most fresh foam that they put in a sneaker, but it actually feels really stable on feet. It has a split back here in the heel, but it's also very wide, and I didn't feel any stability issues walking around in these things. It's literally like your foot is surrounded in foam, which it really is, and it felt really good on feet. And the number 1 for stability shouldn't be too big of a surprise, because it is a harder foam density than the rest, and that is the Bondi 8. Very good stability on these things. Now keep in mind, we're also talking about stability in a max cushion sneaker, not in like an everyday pair of sneakers. Next up, we'll talk about traction and durability, since they go hand in hand. 5th ranking for traction and durability would go to the Fuel Cell Super Comp trainers. I love this shoe. It's one of my favorites out here, but it is the least durable on the outsole, at least from what I could see from the Fuel Cell. I've definitely ran in these the most out of all the other shoes out here, but I do see a little bit of wear on the bottom because there is exposed Fuel Cell on the bottom of the shoe, and it has the least amount of coverage on the bottom as well, comparison to some of the other shoes out here. Next up, we have the Adidas Prime X. Now this actually has a pretty nice strip of Continental in the front, 2 little strips on the back, but I feel like this is one that would probably wear down a little bit fast because of how thin the rubber is on the outsole. If I'm wrong about this or anything else, of course, leave your guys' feedback in the comment section. It's always welcome. But I feel like this one would probably wear down more so than some of the other ones out here. It's not bad, but it's not the best. 3rd spot would go to the Invincible Run. They have full length traction on the outside of this Zoom X outsole here, which is a smart move because Zoom X is definitely softer than like Nike React. There is a little bit of wear spots right here where the Zoom X is exposed at the bottom of the shoe, but for the most part, the rubber covers the entire shoe, and I think that it's probably fairly durable in comparison to some of the other competition out here, but it's definitely not the most durable. Number 2 spot goes to the More V4 again, and this has really nice traction pods. It's thicker, it's grippier, and because of the thickness and the grip of the traction, I think this is going to hold up better than the Invincible Runs. And all in all, I was very impressed with these. I wore them on a little bit of a rainy day as well, and these were just fine. But the number 1 spot for traction and durability, in my mind, would go to the Bondi 8s, because the traction pods on the bottom are actually pretty massive, and they're very grippy as well. Also, the foam, since it's the firmest, it feels like there's a lot more durability going on in this beefy midsole. And this has been traditionally like the king of max cushion sneakers for the last handful of years, and they've definitely like improved upon the model, made it look sleeker and everything else. But I like the outsole traction on here. It was really nice. So the aesthetic rating, which ones do I think look the best just from pure looks? Number 5 spot for me is the Invincible Run from Nike. It's just not an attractive looking shoe in my mind. I wish they would do something different for this midsole, because it definitely works, but the design element probably could change. They've been doing that with Nike React since the beginning, so it's weird that they did the Zoom X in the same shapes as the Nike React. I think that they should make something a little bit sleeker, make something a little bit more fun. I know the Alpha Flies is like the sleek, fancy versions, but give us something too for those regular people out here. At $180, I want something a little bit fancier looking. So that would be the number 5 spot in my mind. Number 4 spot, the Hoka Bondi 8. I actually really like the shoe. The aesthetics of the shoe is definitely way, way better than the previous versions. But overall, I think the upper is kind of lacking. The midsole design and the redesign there, I really like though. Number 3 spot on my list, I would actually go with the SE Trainers. I don't really love the overall look of the shoe. It looks a little bit bulky, obviously because the fuel cell on the midsole is bulky. It definitely is more of like a fancier upper on the shoe, and the overall fit and stuff and the tongue I really like, but just the aesthetics overall is just not my favorite out of the group, which is why it's just kind of in the middle. Number 2 spot, I actually like the New Balance More V4 better, which is weird because it is really bulky as well, but I like the sculpture of the midsole. I think it looks a little bit fancier and just a little bit different, and I like the upper slightly better than the Bondi 8s, and overall it's actually kind of an appealing sneaker to me, even though it has this massive boat of Fresh Foam X on the midsole. Number 1 shoe for aesthetic rating for me is actually the Adidas Adidas Prime X, which is really an interesting call, but I just like that it's just super crazy looking. It fits in with like the wow factor of like more of like the racing sneakers, obviously, than for max cushion, but I'm including it in this countdown again for that potential of like the max cushion sneaker that Adidas could bring to the table. That being said, it's not probably fair to compare to the other dad looking like super max cushion shoes, because this is sleek and sexy. But that's the reason why I like this look overall better than the other 4. All right, so we made it to the end of the video, and if you guys enjoyed my video on top 5 max cushion sneakers for 2022, please drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel. It means a lot if you guys do that. And big shout out again to Bombas for sponsoring this video. Their socks are really incredible, and you can save 20% off of your order. Link in the description. Great gift for yourself or your friends and your family. Also, they have a variety of different styles. Next up, I definitely need to try out the running socks. But again, save 20% off of your order. Link in the description. So the overall best max cushion sneakers, ranking them least to favorite. The number 5 spot, we have the Adidas Prime X with the Light Strike Pro in the midsole again. Absolutely amazing technology. You heard about the pros and the cons of this sneaker in this video. I just really, again, want Adidas to make a wide body version of this Light Strike Pro, and I promise people are going to buy it. $275 makes it the most expensive shoe as well. And again, it's really not the max cushion shoe that it's supposed to be out here. It really is more of like a race day sneaker, but still a lot of potential from Adidas there, and I'm happy that I gave those things a try. Number 4 spot for myself personally is going to go to the Bondi 8s. As I mentioned with the narrower version, I had a little bit of rubbage down here on the lateral side of my foot. Didn't really like that. Overall, it's the firmest option of the 5. And if you like firmer and you like support and you need all that, this is going to be an amazing shoe for you guys. In fact, I think any of the rest of these 4 are going to be interchangeable because of everything that they offer. $165 price point, but it is a heavier shoe, but it also has a lot of durability here. Number 4 spot for myself personally, but let me know where it would rank on your guys' list. Number 3 spot's going to go to the More V4, just slightly edging out the Bondi 8s. I really do like this one better. It's softer on feet than the Bondi 8s. When you're walking and running around this shoe, like this is like a recovery shoe that I can wear every single day. As a heavier set runner, like this is just a shoe that's just very, very forgiving. And I need that for my clumsy feet running around. I don't know what I'm doing. My strides are terrible. This is a shoe that can catch all those things, but this is also one of those shoes that you can wear to Costco, get a PR at Costco running around with these guys. They're really comfortable, and the number 3 spot on my list. Number 2 spot of best overall, I would go with the Invincible Run 2s. These things with the Zoom X in the midsole, full length. It's the best use case of Zoom X that I've seen them use out of any of the Zoom X sneakers that they've released. Amazing pair of sneakers for those needing something soft and squishy. And I did wear these to Disneyland as well, and it was really good. I wore one of the 3 days to the park. Really enjoyed it. And overall, an amazing, great pair of sneakers that you can add to your collection. If you've never had a pair of them, super, super comfortable. And again, you could buy these as well as any of the other shoes that I'm talking about in this video in the description of the video. And if you guys do use my links, I do get a small kickback from the companies, and it lets them know that you guys mess with the channel. And so I always appreciate when you guys use my links. Number 1 top choice for myself in this max cushion world is going to go to the New Balance Fuel Cell Super Comp Trainers. Unbelievably great shoe. One of my favorites of the year for sure. Top 5 comfort shoe of the year, obviously, as well. Not just in the max cushion category, but across the board. It's just a very versatile shoe considering how incredibly not versatile it's probably supposed to be. I mean, it's a running shoe, it's a training shoe, but the max stack of Fuel Cell is insane in here. It's super ultra soft and squishy. This is kind of like the bigger brother and the replacement for like the Laredo. The Laredo has been a great shoe with Fuel Cell on it in the past. They discontinued the model, but this is the biggest stack of Fuel Cell. It's super comfortable, it's very breathable, and this is actually the other shoe that I brought to Disneyland. I wore these 2 of the 3 days in the parks, and they were absolutely perfect, super comfortable, super squishy, but also also very goal oriented as I'm walking extremely fast to the rope drop at Rise of the Resistance. These got me there quick. So, but this is really one of the best shoes on the market, in my opinion. This is the one that really got me off my butt and starting to actually run. And I have 100 pairs of running sneakers plus. This is the one that I finally threw on feet and go, I bet I can run in those. The squish felt great. The rolling sensation wasn't overly extreme. It felt natural. But overall, it was just a really incredible experience on feet. Life-changing, I would actually say, as I'm trying to get healthier. But that is the #1 spot overall of the 5 that I talk about in this video. If you guys have another Max Cushion sneaker that you guys think deserve to be in these top 5, leave a comment and let me know. But these are the best of the best, in my opinion, that I've tried. And again, if you guys want to buy into these 5 out here, I'll link them in the description. It's really a fun time in sneaker space, at least for myself. For those people that like the sneaker tech, the super foam era of sneakers that are coming out, it's insanely awesome what they're able to create. That's my list. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys have tried any of these sneakers and you can vouch for any of them that I'm talking about, drop a comment and let other people know in the comment sections. Yeah, I have the Bondis, or yeah, I have the New Balance Moors, and they're absolutely incredible, or I have the previous version, can't wait to try the new one. Whatever you guys want to leave a comment on, much appreciated, and thank you guys for stopping by and watching the video. Hopefully, we will see you guys back for some more sneaker content on my channel. All right, peace, guys.